Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to build your own home workout. And this is a big topic, a big high interest topic that a lot of people were really interested in when I had mentioned it in the group a while back. And so I'm going to go through today for you how to choose exercises, how to split up your days. I'm going to talk about reps and sets and rest and all kinds of stuff. And I do have a guide that will go along with this. Actually, I'm sort of winging it today. I don't have a script like I would normally have, like a script typed out that I will do. I do not have that today. So I am hopeful that this isn't just a gigantic disaster, but that's okay if it is. It's, it's like live TV, right? We just wing it. We're going with it. But I'm basically going to be going through the guide with you in our live today. So that way, if you get the guide, you'll know exactly all the things that I'm talking about. You know exactly how to use it and all of that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually share my screen. So give me one quick second, maybe. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen so that you can see the guide that I am talking about. If you have questions, if you have, whoops. I almost canceled the whole darn thing, y'all. If you have questions as we go, please feel free to leave them in the comments of the live stream there in the group. And sorry, I know it looks like I'm looking away from y'all. I have two screens here, so that's why I promise I'm not just ignoring you. I'm not over here playing like solitaire. Do y'all still do that? Does anybody still play solitaire on their computers? Minesweeper was my jam. I loved Minesweeper. Uh-oh, it looks like I might be frozen. I hope I'm not frozen. I hope that you all can still see me. Oh no, there I am. Okay. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. This is like one of those when old people try to use technology. Share screen option. No, that's not what I want. I promise I'm going to get my act together, y'all. I promise. Okay. There we go. I am hopeful that you should be able to see my screen. Let's see. Can you see my screen? Let's give it a second. I think it takes Facebook. The group is a hair behind me live. So I need to kind of take a second to kind of keep an eye on the group. Okay, there we go. I see it now. All right. So what you're looking at here, this is the guide that I have created. So please, if you would like the guide, go ahead and just type in guide or give me your shit or send these bitches over. I don't know, whatever. Type something in the comments and I will send the guide to you if you would like it. And also, just if you are here and if you are watching, even if you're watching the replay, if you'll just give me a hello or give me a replay or like or heart this video, the more we can interact with all of the posts that come up in the group, the more that everyone is going to see them, and I will love you forever and ever. So let's get rolling. I'm going to go through, like I said, and basically kind of go through this guide page by page, and this is how we're going to run our live today. So who knows how long this actually might take? Let's see what happens. So obviously titled Build Your Own Home Workout. When you get it, there is going to be a link to my YouTube page that will have a replay of this video right here in this spot. So if you need to go back and review anything that we talked about in the live today, or if maybe you're like, wait, what did she say about whatever? You can click right up here in the corner and it'll take you back to this live and you can like fast forward past all this nonsense that I have just been doing where I'm not actually talking about anything and trying to share my screen. So the first couple of questions that you need to ask yourself to build your own home workout are right over here. Number one, you need to decide how many days per week you can work out. So be realistic. How many days can you promise yourself and make an appointment with yourself, because bosses don't cancel, are you going to work out? If you're able to get more, great. But how many days can you guarantee most of the time you can dedicate to a workout at home? That's what you need to ask yourself first, okay? Then once you've decided on 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever, then you're going to decide how long am I going to be able to devote to each session. So it might only be 20 minutes, and that's okay. It might be an hour. That's okay too. It's going to be very specific to you, to your lifestyle, to your family life and your home life. So there is no right or wrong answer. There's no need to feel bad about anything. If you can only find a 20-minute block of time, then great, take a 20-minute block of time, because that sure is better than a 0-minute block of time. Okay. So whatever you can do is great. You just need to know what it is to know how to build your workout. Okay. So I put here, answering the above questions will allow you to decide how to split up your workout days. So here's a chart that I've made for you. You can kind of decide. Let's say you can only dedicate 2 days a week to working out. What I would suggest, the split that I would recommend, how you split up those days, is to do one upper body day and then one lower body day. Or you can just do 2 full body days. I don't ever recommend like 5 full body days, because you need to give recovery to your muscles. But since it's only going to be 2 days a week, there will be plenty of time to recover throughout the week. So doing full body days is totally fine. If you're going to give 3 days a week, then you can do what we call push-pull legs, or you can do an upper body, a lower body, and then a full body day. And I'm going to explain what push-pull legs is in a minute. If you do 4 days a week, you can either split it into body parts. So for example, a leg day, a back day, a chest day, and a shoulder day. And then arms, it's usually like back and biceps, and then shoulder, chest and triceps is the other one. So you get arms in there. Or you can just do 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days. Okay. And then if you're going to go 5 days a week, you can do upper, lower twice, and then 1 full body. That would make 5. Or you can split it up into body parts, like I mentioned, up above in 4 days. Usually for my clients at the gym, when we do 5 days a week, we would do two leg days. So leg, back and biceps, chest and triceps, shoulders, and then another, we usually just call it lower body day, which tends to have more of like a glute focus. So legs and butt, basically, even though glutes will be in other parts of the week as well. It's more of a focused day for that 5th day. Notice I did not give 6 or 7 days. It's really not necessary to go 6 or 7 days unless, disclaimer, unless your workouts are workouts are only about 20 minutes. If you're on the shorter side, you can absolutely work out more days a week. If you're going for like an hour, then I would recommend not going 7 days a week. Definitely give yourself an active rest day. And we've talked about active rest in the group before. That's not necessarily sit around and watch TV, but it is like walking, hiking, chill, low-level activity that's not increasing your heart rate. And then you can do it 1 day. Actually, you can even do 2 days like that or whatever. But I do not recommend, as far as lifting goes, which is mainly what we're talking about here, is mostly strength training. And I will talk about cardio a little bit. We're mainly talking about going up to only about 5 days as far as strength training goes, because your body needs recovery time. Okay. And just gonna jump in there real quick. Actually, let me move my head here. I'm gonna move my head over here, I suppose. Where do I put myself? Over here. That's a good spot. If you're in the group and if you are watching this live, if you could, or even if you're watching the replay, type in replay. If you're here live, if you'll give me a hello in the comments, or a like or a heart on the video that you're watching on the post, that would be super rad. That helps our things in the group get seen by more people. Okay, in the blue here, I have a couple of equipment, I don't know about suggestions, but ideas. So you need some kind of equipment. You absolutely can do body weight only. However, even with body weight only, you're going to find that variety is going to get a little bit difficult. So having some type of equipment is going to be helpful. Up here at the top, this is equipment that you can buy. Down here at the bottom is equipment that you might already have at home, so you don't have to spend any more money on it. So if you are, I see somebody in the comments. Okay. So you can get a dumbbell set or adjustable dumbbells. You could get resistance bands. They're smaller. They're usually called like hip bands or booty bands. And then there's the larger, longer bands. I recommend both. You could get kettlebells or a weighted vest. You could get a bench, either a flat bench or ideally a bench that will also incline, because that will change your exercises quite a bit. yoga mats, a stability ball or like a yoga ball, a medicine ball or smaller weighted balls, a Bosu. A Bosu ball is like the flat on the bottom and then the dome. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with that, or a TRX, or the generic of TRX is called a suspension trainer. And that's the straps with handles that usually anchors up at the top of the doorway. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. And those are also awesome to take like to hotels and stuff when you're on vacations and if you want to get a workout in. And now here's some ideas of equipment that you may already have at home. So you don't have to buy any of this stuff up here if you don't want. Instead of a weighted vest, you could use a backpack where you load it up with books for weight. You can use soup cans and water bottles. You could use a gallon of water. A gallon of water, like a standard gallon of water, is usually weighs in the let's say in the area and in the neighborhood. And I was like, in the area, in the neighborhood of about 8 pounds for a gallon of water. We used this a lot during COVID when everything was locked down. I was training a lot of my clients with gallons of water, and we took it. If you can buy one that's just a brand new one at the grocery store and leave it as is, or we washed out milk gallons, wash them real good, fill them with water, and then we did hot glue around the lid to make sure that it didn't accidentally pop off and spill everywhere during your workout. So I recommend that if you're going to use a gallon of milk. You can get, you have sandbags, you might have bags of dog food or kitty litter. A chair or a stool is going to be great for things like box squats or step ups and things like that. Any playground equipment. If you have kids, like my son had a swing set outside during COVID, thankfully, because I was able to go use those to work on some pull-ups and things like that. So you could even, if you have kids again, and you go to the park while they're playing, you can be using some of that playground equipment for your workout. Stairs are great for workouts, and even tying pantyhose. I don't know if anyone actually has pantyhose anymore in 2022. I have to admit that I cleaned out my bedroom just like 3 weeks ago and found a huge basket of pantyhose that I was like 1995 called, and they wanted their pantyhose back. I don't, maybe a lot of y'all do. I don't mean to make fun, but that's not my thing anymore. As you can tell, this is what I wear now. But you can tie pantyhose together, like knee highs or whatever. You can tie them together and they can make like mock resistance bands. So if you have anything like that laying around, so you don't have to spend any more money. So again, any questions you have as we go, please go ahead and put those in the comments. And if you are watching live, say, hey, like the video, whatever, that would be rad. Okay, so what do the splits mean? So these splits here, I told you a second ago, I would talk about push, pull legs and whatnot. So let's look at what these mean with exercise examples. So let me move my big head here. I'm gonna, let me put, okay, yeah, that's good. I'll leave my head right there. Okay, so push, when we talk about push exercises, it's literally any exercise that requires a pushing movement. So some examples are push-up variations. And so there's a ton of different variations of push-ups. Any of these exercises that you see underlined are links to my YouTube page to show you what that exercise is. So feel free to click on those and to watch the exercise. So any underline is a link. So push-up variations, I think I have it linked to just a regular push-up and things to think about. Being careful we don't have our elbows straight out. We always want to be at about a 45-degree angle when we're doing push-ups. And then variations. So it could be push-ups on your knees. It could be push-up negatives. It could be incline push-ups, wall push-ups. There's all kinds of push-ups you could do. Any bench press variations, any shoulder press variations. Shoulder press is where you're going up over your head with dumbbells or any kind of weight. Bench dips. That's where you have your hands behind you on a bench and you dip yourself down low and it works your triceps, pushing yourself up. And any tricep push down. So if you can anchor a band up high, and you would push it down. It's hard to do with me sitting here, but you would push it down and that works your triceps. Push exercises typically work the front of your body. And then pull exercises, just like push, it's just any movement that requires you to pull. So any kind of a rowing variation. You could do bent over rows, you could do banded rows, you can do seated rows, there's a million kinds of rows. This links, I think, to a single arm row with a dumbbell or a gallon of water. Deadlifts are pulls, any variations of deadlifts. Pull-ups are pull exercises, and again, any variation of them. A renegade row is a specific type of a row that I just happen to have on YouTube, so I put the link there. Hip thrusts also can be considered a pull. I believe this video is for a barbell hip thrust. However, you can absolutely do the same thing with dumbbells or with any other weight on your hips. And then bicep curls and all the variations are also pull. I have a few different variations on my YouTube page of that. And then there's a link just directly to the YouTube page. If you want to just go ahead and follow it, you can see everything rather than just each individual link. I have all the videos, they're sorted by, like, I think they're on playlists like leg day, back day, and I have some that are just body weight only if you don't have equipment and stuff like that. So feel free to go and explore there. I keep trying to add new things to there whenever I can, but life has gotten a little busy and I haven't added any in a while, but I would like to add some more. So follow and you can hopefully get notifications for more. So that's push, pull, and then legs. So remember the 3-day-a-week split. If I scroll up here, push, pull, legs. There we go. Push, pull, legs. Leg day is, like I put, any movement working your legs, obviously. So anything like any of the squat variations, there's a million different squat variations, a million different lunge variations. Split squats are where you have your legs separated. It's almost like a lunge, but it's in place, or you can do a split squat with your back leg up. That's called a Bulgarian split squat. So again, lots of variations of that. A lot of people can also add glute exercises to their leg day. And that can also be on pull day. Like I have hip thrusts here, that works your butt, that's for your glutes. But you can also put glutes in either both pull and legs or just one or the other, depending on how many other exercises you have. If you have a lot on pull day and your pull day is getting a little too long for the amount of time that you decided you could dedicate to your workout, then just put your glute stuff into leg day. So you can be super flexible with how that goes. But a couple of examples for glute, besides these hip thrusts, you can do kickbacks, you can do glute bridge variations. Okay, so again, I see several of you are in here watching in the group. If you will like or heart this video, that would be great. Give me a hello in the comments. If you're watching the replay, tell me you're watching the replay. Anytime we can comment on anything we see in the group, it makes me love you forever. You might be asking yourself, what about abs? What about core? So core exercise, I don't really like to say ab exercises. I like core. They can be done in any of the splits or even all of the splits. So you can put a couple of core exercise in each of the 3 days, or maybe one of your days is shorter. Maybe you don't have as many things to do on push day. Throw in some core stuff on push day to fill it out. Okay, so you can be, again, really flexible with it. There's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do this. It's really all based on what's going to work for you and your amount of time and all that. So you can superset. Now, a superset is where you have 2 exercises and they're done back to back with no rest. So an example I gave is that you might want to superset a lateral raise with dead bugs. And I gave links there so you can see what they are. Lateral raises are where we hold the dumbbells out to the side here, so it works your shoulders, and then dead bugs are a core exercise. So you can superset those together. Supersets typically, but not always, but typically work 2 different muscle groups. So you wouldn't want to necessarily superset a shoulder with another shoulder unless it's a different part of the shoulder, maybe. But core exercises like dead bugs and bird dogs and curl ups and things like that are great to superset with other things in your other days. And then I also mentioned in the splits about upper and lower body. Oops. So upper body is basically any combination of these push and pull exercises. And then lower body is any combination of legs and glutes. So when you're looking up here at these splits and deciding what to do, that's how you can decide which exercises might work for whatever split you choose to do. So, I see some hellos in there. Hello, friends. Amy, Amanda, hello, hello. Anybody new that's watching, this guide that I'm going through with you is, I will have this available to you to send to you so you can have it forever and ever and love it and cherish it for all your days. So let me know in the comments if you would like it. And after this is over, I will get that sent to you. Okay, so the small details. This is the last page. How many reps should I do? So we're going to start over here. How many reps? The number of reps you do is going to depend on if you're doing body weight or if you're adding weight like dumbbells. And it's also going to vary by body part, but as a general rule, assuming that you're adding weight, 8 to 12 difficult reps is usually pretty good for most body parts. 12 to 15 is more specific to like triceps, so the back of your arms, and hamstrings, the back of your thighs. And 15 to 30 difficult reps are what you're going to want if you're working your calves or your abs and your core exercises. However, if you aren't able to add much weight, you can increase these reps until they become difficult as needed based on, you know, the specific exercise, or, you know, if you're just doing body weight only. There are some body weight exercises where you might not even get to 8 to 12. Like some of them can be really tough, like push-ups and pull-ups and things like that. So work with your own abilities. But what's really cool, y'all, I'm going to be honest, don't get down on yourself if you feel like you can't do some of these. It's kind of almost my favorite, and I know it's not their favorite, but it's kind of my favorite as a coach, when I have ladies who will do an exercise, maybe I'm prescribing them 8 to 10 reps, but they might only get 6. And it's like, oh, I could only do 6. And they kind of laugh and they're a little embarrassed. I'm like, no, man, that's actually pretty great, because if you've got a baseline now. So now next week, we're going to shoot for 7. And then the next week, we're going to shoot for 8. So you can literally see yourself get stronger as you go. So don't ever feel bad on yourself if you're not able to do as many as you plan to do. It's a really awesome baseline to prove to yourself how much you're improving and how much you're growing. So don't ever be upset by that. Lifting and strength training in general is the one place, one of the many places, I think, but the one big place in my world where failure can actually be a good thing. We want to fail because we want to know where that baseline is, and we want to know how we're growing, because sometimes it can get really defeating to feel like you're not making progress. But when stuff like that happens and you're like, wait, I was only able to do 2 push-ups, now I can do 5? Like, who the hell am I, right? Like, how exciting is that? So you want to know your limits so that you know when you're making progress. So don't ever feel bad if you're not able to get to some of these rep numbers. Totally fine. Write it down, get yourself a notebook or use the notes app in your phone or whatever, and write it down and track your progress. That's what's going to keep you going. People often ask, where's the motivation? The motivation is in the progress. When you see the progress, you want to keep doing it because you want to keep one-upping yourself. Okay. How many sets? On average, 3 to 5 sets of these numbers of reps here is what you can do for most exercise, but you can certainly change it based on your own time constraints. You can change it based on, like, if you have a particular focus for that workout. So like I put in here, for example, if you're focusing on arms during pool day, then maybe do 5 sets of the bicep exercises, but maybe only 3 or 4 sets of the other exercises. So you can kind of play with it, like I said, based on time. If you don't have a ton of time, then just do 3 sets of everything. Sometimes you might even only be able to do 2 sets of anything. Like I said, anything is better than nothing. Just fit in what you can, and you can always build and grow from there. Now, what about rest? So here's a big soapbox for me that I'm going to try to not go off on a giant tangent with this one, but rest is critical. Be super, super careful not to turn your strength training workout into a cardio workout by not taking enough rest. It is one of my biggest challenges when new ladies start with me at the gym to get them to stop and rest. They want to keep going. Like they'll finish a set and they'll put down the dumbbell and they'll stand around and we might talk for 30 seconds and they're ready to pick it up and go again. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, you need to rest. You should need a good 2 minutes rest. If you're doing body weight exercises, I might be cool with 90 seconds. But you should need on average, at least a good 2-minute rest in between exercises. If you don't need 90 seconds or 2 minutes of rest, you're not lifting heavy enough and you're not going hard enough. So you should feel like your body needs the 2 minutes in order to be able to complete the next full set. Okay. If you find that after 30 seconds, you're just bored and ready to do it again, then you need to get more weight or maybe add some more reps next time. Another really awesome trick that's actually not in this guide, I forgot to add it, but tempo. I did a reel on Instagram about this not too long ago, but slow the tempo. So let's say you only have dumbbells up to 10 pounds, but you're doing 10-pound curls like it's nothing. slow it down, do it like a 5 count or even a 10 count, really, really slow. And that puts a lot of tension in whatever muscle you're working. And holy guacamole, you're going to feel it. Like you do a slow tempo body weight squat, sweet baby Jesus, you're going to, feel your ass is going to be on fire. Okay. So if you are feeling like you don't need 2 minutes rest, you've got to find ways to make your lifts more difficult, either add more weight, do more reps, or slow up your tempo. Actually, I think I might have talked about tempo in a live here in this group not too long ago. Now, what about cardio? Should you do cardio? Yes, you should. I tend to kind of shit on cardio a little bit because I'm really not a fan. However, it is good for literally that purpose. Cardio, your heart health. Cardio should not be the bulk of your workout. Cardio should not be your sole purpose or your sole source of trying to lose weight, trying to lose fat. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. But cardio should be used as a tool in conjunction with a strength training workout. So you can choose between HIIT style cardio, which is high intensity interval training, 5 to 15 minutes. Please stop going to 60-minute HIIT classes. That's not going to do what you think it's going to do, and you're going to jack up your hormones. Sorry, Burn Boot Camp and Orange Theory, but it ain't going to do what you think it's going to do. Or you can do some 20 to 30 minute steady state cardio. So that's like take a walk, take a hike, jog, ride the bike. HIIT, I wouldn't do more than 2 or 3 days a week for 5 to 15 minutes. Steady state, the walks and whatnot, you can do that 5-6 days a week because it is much lower intensity. It's not going to increase your cortisol levels and throw your hormones out of whack as easily as HIIT will. Again, if you have questions, comments, concerns, please post them in the group. And if you would like this guide that I'm showing you, go ahead and write the word guide or send this to me or whatever in the group. And if you were watching the replay, say replay. Okay, stretching is another question I get a lot, and this is the last piece I have for you here. When to stretch. So before your workout, we should not be stretching our muscles before our workout. Most of us probably grew up stretching our muscles before our workout. Now we know that that's not ideal. Before your workout, you should do what we call dynamic stretching. And dynamic stretching works whatever joints are going to be getting used in that workout. And the example I gave is before deadlifting. Deadlifting is a hinging motion where you're hinging at your hips and you're pushing your butt out. So your hips are doing a lot of work. I always recommend doing some glute bridges or an exercise called bird dogs that will help work your hips. So it'll kind of get the joints fired up. And so depending on like if you're doing squats is another one, you're going to want to work your hips if you're about to do like leg day and squats because your hips are involved. If it's a push day or a shoulder or a chest day, you're going to want to be doing like maybe some arm circles, things like that to get your shoulder joint working. Okay. See where I'm going? Now, after the workout, you can do static stretching, and static stretching is what most of us know as just stretching, where you just sit and touch your toes or whatever. I love adding in yoga poses after a workout, like pigeon, child's pose, cobra. A lot of those are great after workout stretches and exercises. Or you can just do some things as simple as touch your toes, or like this overhead tricep one where you're pushing it back carefully. Now, do not bounce your stretches. So hold it steady for 10 to 30 seconds and try to relax into it. We don't want to be bouncing. I remember when I was a kid, we do those butterfly stretches where you put your feet together, and we used to bounce them all the time. But now we know that that's asking to tear a muscle. So we don't want to do that. So hold it steady and try to relax into it as much as you can. And you only do those after your workout once your muscles are warmed up. We don't necessarily want to do that cold. Okay. Woo, I feel like I talked a lot. If you have questions, or tell me, actually, I'm going to go to the comments here in 1 second to see if there's any questions that I can answer now. Otherwise, like I said, if you want this guide that I'm showing you right here, and it has all the links, all of these underlined thingies are links that you can click, and they should take you to my YouTube page. Hopefully they work, because I'm going over them right now and I see nothing is happening. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, yeah, it does work. You can see examples of all these exercises that are underlined, and there's a whole lot more on there too that I don't have included in this, so please explore. But if you want this guide, let me know in the comments. If you're watching the replay, say replay. If you're anytime, if you have, even if you're watching the replay and you have comments, add it, and I'm going to check it out. Now I'm going to go to the group right now. Let's see. I'm going to get Amy that guide for sure. Amanda's currently watching this live during her rest times. Oh, and Amanda's got a big bench that she's doing today right now. She's going for a big old number today. Or actually, I think it's the heavy hold that she's doing. And then, yep, Amanda can have it for non-gym days. Okay, wait, it says 6 comments, but I'm only seeing 4. Why don't I see more comments? Dear Facebook, what the actual hell? That's okay. I think I might need to mess with it for a second. I don't want to do that while I'm sitting here live on camera. So let me know how I can help. Let me know what you need. Please come back next week. We are going to talk next week about meal tracking 101. So tips and tricks to make meal tracking simple is what we're talking about next week. We also are going to have a shirt order available, a hoodie order. If anybody is interested, we are going to do a hoodie order it's called, the shirt is Support Your Local Girl Gang. I'm trying to see if I have a sample of the shirt that I can show you. Here it comes. So this is the hoodie. I'm going to be putting this order up in the group. Here you go. If you're interested, obviously my business logo, but then Support Your Local Girl Gang. This is supporting my business as well as all of my badass ladies that are doing badass things. And I would love to send that out to you. I can ship it. They are $30. If you need it shipped, it's $35. So when that order pops up in the group, please go ahead and just place your order in the Google Doc, and then I will let you know how to pay later. So let me know what y'all need. Let me know what I can do for you, and I will talk with y'all soon.